you doing? So this is me, Helen Christodoulou, for the Fusion 7 Healing Mystery School show on Periscope, but you can also find me on my YouTube channel, Helen Christodoulou. How are you today? So today we're talking about, how we've been actually duped in a way, that we're in a matrix and we really do need to learn what it is that we need to do to get out of this terrible situation, I would say, that all the beings on planet Earth are in, and also the state of the Earth as well. So it is really about intuition, but let's talk a little bit about how we got to where we currently are. So it all begins with the law of mentalism, which has basically become co-opted by erroneous social systems. So we started off with the law of mentalism on the cosmic scale, but then the minds of men, when we got to men on this planet, things got quite nasty, yeah? So the purpose was to create order out of chaos. I think this was like the original purpose of creating perhaps hierarchical systems. And this was done by stimulating people artificially. So how did they do that? And when I say they, that could also mean us in a way as well, yeah? So how did they do that? They did it with subtle programming that tells us what we need, how we should be, and what to do without questioning it. Of course, a lot of us now are questioning it, but we don't follow up with the questions and stand our ground and do what it is that we need to do. What's up, Rylan? So what was the result of that? The result of that was the creation of order followers. Yeah, so that basically means that we are intelligent enough to do the work and follow the rules, but not intuitively intelligent enough to break free from the status quo. So this is kind of where we are at with that. So the result of that is masses that can be manipulated and controlled because we are simply order followers. And a result of that, our intuitive powers have been robbed without you or I, to a certain degree, even noticing that that has happened. And this has happened by being fed three fundamental lies. The first one is a stimulation of excess consumerism, which basically means that it makes us want and want and want, and it's never enough. Whether it's about, I don't know, the handbag or the car or the better job, hey new, go order, how you going, to all the way up to even, more spiritual things. It's all about wanting and wanting and wanting. And so this is what it is that happened. We were fed the three lies. The first one, as we said, is excess consumerism. And the next one is chasing financial success. Now, there's nothing actually wrong with chasing financial success, and it's a wonderful thing to be successful, but sometimes we can become lost in it and we lose the purpose of doing it, and we just become addicted to that, that rat race where you are on that cycle going around and around. And at the bottom line, who is it that you are actually chasing that money for? You think that it's yourself, but where is it going? To who is it going? And why is it going there? Do we ask ourselves these questions? So that would be the second one. The other one is promised security and stability. That's the third fundamental lie that we are being fed here in humanity. So this basically means promised security and stability means you have to get that insurance. You have to pay these taxes. You must have this job. You should go to university and study to be a lawyer. You mustn't study through homeschooling because this is just simply not as the classic academic system. These are the security lies, for example, that, we have been fed. And it goes, a lot deeper than that. Things like banking systems, for example, schooling systems, as I've just touched upon, perhaps spiritual systems or religious systems. So if you don't do this and if you don't do that, you are not granted security, you know, whether it's in the kingdom of heaven or by the government that's supposed to be looking after you. You know, it goes all the way up the rungs of the ladder. And so as a result of that, this has dumbed down your intuition and it has distorted your instincts. And the reason that I say that is because we'll find that, like in a lot of esoteric circles and spiritual circles and that kind of stuff, hey Melissa, we see that a lot of people do things like following, for example, following their heart or following their own truth, yeah? Or because instinct showed them they should go in a certain direction and they did, and they fall short. And the reason for that is everything that I've described just until now. You know, our instincts and our intuition have become so severely distorted because of all of the lies that we have been fed. And this has caused an element of separation. In fact, a big element of separation from what? Well, we have become separated from ourselves. We have become separated from the original powers and the original knowledge from where it is that we came, from the powers that we have innately inside. We have become completely severed from that. And so now we have come into a position where we are completely 101% dependent on these erroneous systems, which we have become intrinsically a part of. Perhaps we are even, you know, the ones that are dishing out these systems ourselves. Yeah, we have become invested in those systems. That's exactly right. And so what it brings me to is that it's actually time to undo this damage. It is that time. It's time to take back the Sophia, which is the wisdom that has been forgotten, and that is possible and accessible to anybody and everybody who is interested to be able to retrieve it. And so this kind of brings me a little bit to the work that I personally do, which is all the Fusion 7 healing work. And that really is all about retrieving sovereignty and retrieving your own power and being able to access immutable truths and actually transcending your own personal ones, because our personal truths are just kind of from the level and the perspective that we are currently aware of in our minds. So what I'm saying is that we need to transcend personal perspectives, our own truths, which is another kind of a bit of a, you know, a bullshitty thing that goes on in esoteric circles and healing circles and stuff. And being able to access pure information, which is on the level of immutable truths, you know, cosmic truths. This is the kind of stuff that we should be striving for, that we should be implementing into this kind of human mind in order to really be able to go forward and to be able to make fundamental changes in our own lives and also in the lives of others and the status of everything that's going on this earth. Yeah. So in our foundation class, we actually retrieve the 3 forgotten wisdoms, and the 3 forgotten wisdoms are to remember how to connect to our primary source, which is either within the self or that kind of universal point from which everything arises. And by doing that, we are then able to retrieve our genuine intuition and to restore our impulses that perhaps have become distorted. So that's the way we do it. And the other thing that we learn, of course, is skills to transform and adapt. Yeah, skills to transform and adapt. And that's really, really important. And you know, intuition, guys, it's not kind of like this wishy-washy thing that only some, you know, tree-hugging hippies do. It's something that is crucial and fundamental for the sustainability and correct continuity, what's up, lead forward, for everybody that's here on this planet. You know, it's so important. So this is kind of where I come in with what I do and a lot of, you know, what you do out there. But I really wanted to illustrate where it's all come from and why we are at this place where we have to exit this matrix in the first place, you know. So these are the things that we have to do. And by doing it, it will affect all different levels of our consciousness, positively, that is. It will affect the way we think, our mind, our fears, our stress, our anxiety, our compulsions, our confusions, and our depression. And our depression primarily comes from this place where we are not following our intuition, our instinct, and our multi-dimensional heart. That is the core reason why we get depressed and why we become addicted. Okay, so we have to undo all of this stuff, and that's what we undo. We deal with our emotions, our body, our psychic tree. Perhaps our psychic tree is distorted too. We have become too sensitive, overly empathic, not being able to deal with the stresses that surround us. So we deal with this kind of thing, with our spiritual issues, our existential issues, things such as death, before life, afterlife, archetypal issues, our DNA. These are all the things that we need to address in order to truly exit the matrix. It won't happen if you just address it academically. It's not going to happen. And I'm not saying that to instill fear. I'm saying that because it's an absolute truth, and this is what we need to do. So by partaking in awakening and ascension, and I don't mean that in a fluffy kind of way whatsoever, we learn mastery of our intuition, how to recognize challenges, to address these challenges, and how to crystallize new and beneficial outcomes for our lives, the lives of others, for this earth, for the universe, for the multiverse, and even for the primary source itself. We are upgrading that in every decision that we take in this life and other lives on other planets. I'm not pushing that out at all whatsoever, but guys, this is what we need to do. So if you are interested truly in making a difference in, you know, your own individual and collective life, or, you know, on a larger level, on a kind of a collective level, then I do invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Helen Christodoulou. There's a whole lot of info there for you. Subscribe there, lots of free information. I'm on Facebook also. You can find me on there, Helen Christodoulou. Don't forget to follow me on Periscope too. And I hope that, you know, you really are interested in making a fundamental change to self and to all others. My website is fusion7healing.com with all the different classes that I offer, and all of this stuff that I have spoke of today is primary in the Fusion 7 Healing Foundation course coming up in Nicosia here in April. So thank you for being here. I wish for you and for everybody that truth can always be the guiding force that is with you. So until next time, Imaste Biyi, it means we are primary source. Take care for now. Sharing is caring, so I invite you to do that for me. Take care once again. Have an awesome day, and I'll catch you again real soon. Peace, love, and truth is out.